A naive parent. Father Lazar, a widower, likes to curl up in his armchair and watch TV. He lives in a nice apartment and has 3 daughters, Gordana, Radmila, and Katerina. Gordana wholeheartedly coshed up her father and showed immense love for her father. Radmila did not lag behind in showing her love. Katerina also loved her father very much, but she did not know how to caress like her sisters. Instead of cuddling, she preferred to be in her room with her thoughts. She fantasized about the world that lives in magazines and TV shows. She knew she had to somehow get out of this reality she didn't like. And one day, Katerina informed her father that she was leaving the country and would live in Austria. This hurt the father terribly, and he, in anger, said that he should not even return. After some time, the daughters presented their marriage candidates to their father. The happy father welcomed this intention and promised a rich dowry. Soon the father sold the apartment and all his possessions, for which he received a lot of money. He gave the obtained money to Gordana and Radmila. The father, with his part of the money, paid for the guest house in the spa and moved there. Father spent a comfortable life in the spa, but, after a year, the father realized that there was no more money for this kind of life. Gordana and her husband bought an apartment in Novi Sad from the dowry and lived comfortably, and Gordana also had time for her lover. One day the doorbell rang and an excited father appeared. The father told them how much he missed them and declared that he would live with them from now on. While in the bathroom, the father heard a heated argument between Gordana and her husband over him. Deeply offended, the father packed his bags and left for good. Radmila and her husband bought an apartment in New Belgrade. Gordana reported that the father was heading towards them and soon he was at their door. Their father complained about Gordana's heartlessness and declared that, from now on, he would live with them. But the son-in-law resolutely refused such a possibility because of his illness and the need for peace. Deeply resentful, the father packed his bags and left for good. And so the naive parent found himself among the homeless. Not long after, Radmila's husband died and she found comfort with Gordana's lover. Gordana's lover and Radmila fell in love and decided to get married. Radmila went to Gordana to explain to her how love with the young man happened. Jealous Gordana poured poison into the tea and Radmila fell dead on the floor. Just then, Gordana's husband came by and get choked at the sight. He immediately called an ambulance, and Gordana grabbed a cup of tea and drank it. The poison in the tea worked and she fell dead next to Radmila. The ambulance could only state the death of 2 sisters.
Why?
Katerina heard about her family's misfortune and found her father among the homeless. Her father was ill and the arrival of Katerina aroused his faith in salvation. Katerina took her father to the hospital and hoped for his recovery. But not long after, the doctor informed Katerina that her father had died. After all that horror, Katerina sat up in the air and left, never to return.